Imagine growing up in the tough state of New York, where every day in a battle for survival. Born in 1940 in the gritty neighborhood of the Bronx, John Gotti life began in an environment where power was not given, it had to be taken. From an early age, Gotti would learn that to rise above the poverty and hardship around him, he would need to tap into the darker side of society. This is the story of how a street smart young boy grew to become one of the most feared and influential figure in the world of organized crime. John Joseph Gotti was born into a working class Italian American family. His father was a day laborer, struggled to make ends meet, while his mother cared for the family at home. Life in the Bronx was tough. The neighborhood was rife with poverty, crime, and limited opportunities. It was in the environment that young John learned early lesson on how to navigate the world. The world that often valued power and loyalty above all else. By the age of 12, Gotti was already known for his sharp wit and confidence. He was no stranger to petty crimes like shoplifting, and these early day missteps would eventually lead him into the orbit of the mafias. Growing up surrounded by gangs and criminals, Gotti quickly understood that to survive, he had to make connection and prove his worth. It was here that his path crossed him, members of the infamous Gambino crime family. In the early 20s, Gotti's ambition caught the attention of the Gambino family, one of the five families that controlled the mafia in the New York. His street smarts and his fearless nature made him a perfect fit for their operations. Over the next few years, Gotti quickly climbed the ranks of the Gambino family. First as a soldier and then a corporate giant, overseeing a team of men involved in the various illegal activities, from loan sharking to extortion. But Gotti was not just another mobster. His ability to stay calm under pressure and his keen sense of timing made him a standout figure. As he moved up in the criminal ladder, he became known for his ability to handle delicate situations with finesse. His ability to lead with both charm and ruthlessness earned him the respect of his peers and fear from his enemies. In the early 1980s, fate played a major role in Gotti's rise to the top. Paul Castellino, the head of the Gambino family, was a more traditional boss, focused on the family financial empire and keeping a low profile. But Gotti saw an opportunity. Castellano leadership had made him enemies within the family, and Gotti with his loyal follower, Castellino murders in 1985. With Castellino out of the way, Gotti assumed control of the family. Now at the helm of the Gambino family, Gotti persona took center stage. He was not like other mafia bosses who preferred to operate in the shadows. Gotti was a man who understood the power of image. With the sharp shoots, clean-cut look and confident attitude, he became a media sensation. This press loved him. He was charismatic, articulate and photogenic. But behind the public persona was a ruthless leader who was not afraid to eliminate anyone who posed a threat to his empire. He earned the nickname the Teflon Don because of the incredible ability to avoid conviction in the court, despite facing multiple high-profile trials and accusations of murders and racketeering. Charges seemed to slide off him. Gotti's charm and ability to manipulate the legal system helped him escape justice time and time again. His criminal operations expanded as he solidified his position as the most powerful mafia boss in the New York City. But Gotti was not just about making money. He also built a brand around himself, using the media to portray himself as a man who operated by his own rules. This made him a polarizing figure, both admired and feared. Under Gotti leadership, the Gambino family flourished. His criminal empire expanded to include drug trafficking, money laundering, and even murder for hire. Gotti controlled vast amount of money from illegal gambling to extortion, ring targeting business. His influence stretched far beyond New York, with connection in politics, law enforcement, and the entertainment industry. But it was all smooth sailing. Gotti rule was marred by betrayal, rivalries, and growing tension within the mafias. His increasing visibility and media attention brought unwanted scrutiny from law enforcement and made enemy both within the outside and the criminal world. His empire was a house of cards, and the pressure to keep it all intact was mounting. No matter how powerful or untouchable, one may feel the law eventually catches up. In the early 1990s, the government finally found a way to take Gotti down. After a year of eluding justice, it was his trusted underboss, Salvatore Sammy the Bull Gravano, who turned on him. Gravo's testimony was the final blow to Gotti's reign. In 1992, Gotti was convicted of murder and other charges. The man who had once been known as the Teflon Don now found himself behind bar of lives. In prison, Gotti's health began to decline. In 2002, after a long battle with cancer, he passed away in a federal prison hospital. His death marked the end of an era in organized crime. While his criminal empire crumbled, his legend as a master of manipulation and a symbol of mafia power remained. John Gotti's life is a testament of the seductive allure of power and the inevitable downfall that comes with it. His rise from a street kid in the Bronx to the head of the most powerful mafia family in the world is a story of ambition, ruthlessness, and defiance of the law. But as the tired to control his image and evade justice, Gotti's legacy is a reminder that crime, no matter how carefully planned, always catches up in the end. Despite the death, Gotti's name still carries weight in the world of organized crime. His story continued to captivate the imagination of many, from documentaries to movies and books. He remains one of the most iconic figures in mafia history. His life a cautionary tale of the cost of fame, power, and crime.